Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you joining me here today. Second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Hopefully you were able to tune into yesterday's show. That was episode 3767. So if you want to check that out, feel free to head on over to stephencabral.com/podcast after today's show. That's where all the previous episodes are. You can also use that search box to search for and look for any topics that are of interest to you. All right, let's dive into today's show. If you want to follow along with the questions, head on over to 3768. All right, let's see. First one here, pulling up the sheet, and it's from Bernice. Bernice says, "Hi, Doc. First, thank you so much for your podcast. I absolutely love it. My favorite day is Friday. I always enjoy hearing about the research and new products." Thank you, Bernice. "I learned about psyllium husk on your podcast, and I've been taking it every day. I wanted to ask you about Zen Basil. Is this something that we should also consider taking as a fiber source? It looks like there are 15 grams per serving. Thanks so much, Bernice." Okay, great question. I'm glad you like the Friday show. Everybody kind of has their favorites. I love the Friday show because I'm always testing and using new things, and most of them never make it to the light of day. That means the Friday Review podcast. So if I talk about the Friday Review, it is something that I'm actually interested in, whether it's a book, a product, health tech, etc. And I read a lot of books, and I only bring, again, ones that I think that people would find value from, and that it goes with all the different new products I'm experimenting with as well. Psyllium husk is a top 20 nutritional supplement. Top 20 might seem like that's so many, right? It's a top 20. I mean, there's so many supplements out there. It is a top 20. It's a foundational product. Again, I can't provide medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, medical diagnosis. But if you have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, psyllium husk is one of the number one things that you can use once or twice a day. And it's simple. It's only 3 to 5 grams of psyllium husk. Add it to your shake or add it to water. Nice tall glass of water. Okay, so that's organic psyllium husk. Make sure it's tested for mold, that it's, third-party tested. You can find the one that we use at stephencabral.com/shop. I know you know the URL, but there it is again for new listeners. Zen Basil, something different. It comes from basil seeds. Okay, this is different than psyllium husk, which is a soluble fiber as well. So is Zen Basil. Both can be great. I don't use Zen Basil. It turns into a little bit more of a gel, more like a chia seed rather than psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is also clinically proven to help with blood sugar, blood pressure, and high cholesterol. That's why I use it in practice. I'm not against Zen Basil, but also 15 grams of fiber, way too much. Too much, not needed from a supplement. Yes, at a meal, it's great. I get 50 plus grams of fiber a day. I'm not saying that's going to be right for your body. I had to, of course, work up to that, but I eat 7 to 9 servings of fruits and veggies every day. So it's pretty easy for me to get that much fiber. I don't actually have to, it's not a challenge at all. And then I just add psyllium husk to 1 shake a day. That's what I do. But anyway, that's me. So there you have it. Nothing wrong with Zen Basil. We don't use it because it doesn't have as much clinical backing behind it. And if you do use it, I don't think you need to use 15 grams at one time. That might not feel so good on your gut. All right, Janelle is up next. "Hi, Dr. Ball. Thank you for all of your work. About 5 years ago, I had tuberculosis and long-term treatment. Since then, I have ongoing issues, persistent joint pain, unstable weight, struggle to gain weight, and often lose it without clear reason. Recent labs showed elevated rheumatoid factor, high ESR, and slightly low hemoglobin, suggesting inflammation or rheumatoid arthritis. I currently take daily nutritional support, omega-3 and D3. What additional supplements could lower the inflammation and support recovery? I live outside the U.S. and can order supplements, but Equal Life Support said lab results cannot be processed for my country. I don't want to make the detox because I don't want to lose the weight I have. What protocol can I follow? Thank you for your advice." Okay. All right. So again, no medical advice here. I wish you could run the labs, but I totally get it. So if you have any bloating, if you have any gas, if you have any digestive issues, I'd recommend the CBO protocol. But before you do the CBO protocol, I definitely do recommend the 21-day functional medicine detox. You may not know this, people may not know this, but back in 2011-ish, right around that time, I'd done many of my internships already in India. I had seen Panchakarma, and I said, how can we replicate this to a degree in America? And sauna wasn't big back then. Definitely nobody was doing coffee enemas. So I created the functional medicine detox. And it worked great. And we actually did it mainly with people with autoimmune issues, mainly RA. So it works great. Now, you say, but I don't want to lose weight. Totally get it. You can actually do 4 shakes a day but as smoothies on days 1 and 2. So you can do that and you'll gain the weight back. Again, if you do lose weight. And then for weeks 2 and 3, you can even stay on the days 3 through 7 meal plan. Any questions, ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. We help provide answers for you right there. Okay, so they'll help you walk through that. Then after the 21 day, then we'll do the CBO protocol if there's any digestive-based issues. If you don't feel like you have gas and bloating, okay, let's do then the CBO finisher at least. Let's heal and seal the gut because, again, 90% of all autoimmune issues start in the gut, so we should work on the gut, probably CBO protocol and then the CBO finisher. And then in terms of inflammation, one additional product that you're not using right now is called the Inflammasoothe. And I would do that for 1 to 2 servings a day, which is 3 capsules. So it might be 3 with breakfast, 3 with dinner, or you might just start with 3 once a day. All right, so that's where I would start. But again, I'm an underlying root cause individual, so I'm going through the protocols. I'm doing functional medicine detox, CBO protocol, CBO finisher, then probably heavy metal detox after that. And then I'm using sauna if you're able to get to a sauna as well. All right, hopefully that's helpful. Catherine's up next. Catherine says, "Hi, Doc. Thank you for all you do in helping all of us." Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate you. "I was looking into getting a vibration plate and was wondering which one you recommend. To date, I didn't find one on your resource page or previous podcasts. Would you consider recommending one in the future? Thank you." You are reading our mind. We are actually chatting with a couple of vibration plate companies with the technology that I like at a low price point. So there are great vibration plates out there. One of them is the Power Plate. The problem with the Power Plate is that it's a couple $1,000s. I'm trying to get one to you for a couple $100s that has the majority of those benefits. So we're working with the company right now. We want to get you a discount. I want to be able to test this product to make sure that it is good to go, and then I'll be recommending it to you. And I would love them to even come to the RHS event this year too, in the first week of November. If you haven't heard about it yet, come join me and my team in person. Meet us in person. Let's chat, hang out for 3 days. You can go to rhsevent.com, 16 different health-based talks, over 30 different expert vendors that we hand curate. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. And there'll be the tickets are already 1/3 sold out. We've been open literally for 2 weeks, which is pretty amazing because we have so many people already returning. But anyway, rhsevent.com. Okay. Ellie is up next, or Eli maybe. I think it's Ellie, but we'll see. "Hi, Dr. Brawl. I feel like I can't get a hold of my appetite, both behaviorally and physiologically. I also deal with a huge amount of food noise. I notice when I eat a large breakfast, say from a restaurant, I can go basically the entire day without eating. Is it okay to flip meals, dinner for breakfast, regular lunch, and breakfast for dinner? Are there any studies or positive impacts of doing so? Why don't more health professionals talk about this type of practice? It seems as if it would be good for people. I'm desperate to try anything for my appetite and food noise problem. Thank you so much for answering my question." Well, Ellie, the good news is I've been talking about this since the podcast started. All kidding aside, but it's true. Why? Because I always tell people, like, I have the truth on my side because I didn't make it up. If I were to make it up, it can't be the truth. The truth has always been, right? The truth is universal. Now, we need what I call personomics, which is the intricacies of how we bioindividualize it for each person. But Ayurveda has taught us the truth from the beginning of time, right? At least recorded time. So Ayurveda was moderate breakfast, but easy to digest, larger lunch, small dinner, easy to digest. Now, for some people like yourself, again, I'm the person who says never skip breakfast, skip dinner if you're going to skip a meal, but never skip breakfast. Because we've seen that actually can increase all-cause mortality, namely cardiovascular issues, because it's stressful on the body. Eat breakfast. Doesn't have to be right away. I eat my breakfast 2 hours after waking. Yours might be an hour after waking. Might be whatever works for you, right? Yeah, mine's between an hour and a half and 2 hours. Always has been for years, for many, many years. Except when I started working early in the morning, I had it pretty close, like before I started to work, because I don't want to call it manual labor, but like I was on my feet, lifting heavy things, putting heavy things back down. That was my work. All right. So all kidding aside, I have no problem with your eating plan. Flip it. Yeah. Have a decent sized breakfast. No problem. Keep it to satiate you. Don't go overboard where you're stuffing your body. Regular lunch, And then a small dinner, easy to digest. No, I have no issue with that at all. I think it's great. No issues. All right, Sheena's up next. And again, we have to just make sure that it's working with your body. That's all. As long as it's working with your body, then we're good to go. We do know that having your largest meal at the end of the day is the worst thing that you can do because it affects your sleep. Anybody who doesn't believe that, that's okay. Like, you don't have to believe. I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm not trying to force anything on anyone. But if you track your sleep, have a very light dinner. Like when I do the detox, my sleep, my HRV goes up, everything goes up because I'm having these easy to digest dinners. The first 2 days are the shakes. And if you've ever so for example, if I go out on the weekend and let's say we do lunch out, I'll have a little something for dinner or nothing really at all. And my sleep scores couldn't be better on those nights. It's crazy. Now, if I feel hungry, that's not good. I don't want to feel really hungry before bed, but I could be satiated. So anyway, I'm going to move on, but hopefully that's helpful. Again, experiment. You'll see with your sleep scores. You'll see your HRV go up, your deep sleep, and everything improve. All right. Sheena says, hi, Dr. C. Hope you and your team are well. I'm a 46-year-old female experiencing perimenopause symptoms. My endocrinologist prescribed me birth control pills to help alleviate some of the symptoms, which helped for about 8 months, apologies, Sheena, but now I'm considering HRT. I purchased the Big 5 and I want to know if I need to come off my birth control for accuracy. If so, how long should I come off before testing? If not, will I need to notify the labs in advance? If I'm on HRT, will my results be accurate for the stress mood test? My last question is, when I'm doing a detox, am I allowed to take herbal tinctures? I take tinctures daily to support my adrenals and liver. Will that cancel out the effectiveness of the FM and AYU pills? Thanks in advance. You're the best. Thank you, Sheena. Okay, so let's answer all these questions. So, perimenopause, 46 years old, totally get it. Most women enter perimenopause somewhere between 5 and 10 years before menopause, and it's where hormone levels, namely estrogen and progesterone and testosterone to a degree, start to decline. So it's a slower decline. It doesn't happen all, the 12 months preceding menopause. And so some endocrinologists, yes, they prescribe birth control. Not sure that that's the best thing to do for overall health, but it's one way. And again, I'm here to support people however they want to be supported. So now you're considering hormone replacement therapy. All right. Many women in our practice, they use the herbal-based versions. They use estrogen support and progesterone support plus DHEA. How would you know if that'd be the right thing for you? You would actually have to come off of birth control. Now, again, I'm not giving you any medical advice telling you to do that, but the stress mood and metabolism test is very accurate. And it will tell you exactly what your hormones look like on birth control, right? So if you wanted to see what your hormones look like off of birth control at baseline, you'd need to be off birth control for 2 to 3 months. And then you would run those hormones. So what you can do is run it now, see what you look like on birth control, and then you could run the women's wellness test, which is all your hormones plus cortisol in 8 to 12 weeks if you wanted to. That would be okay. So that's that. And then we would, if your estrogen is low, progesterone is low, and DHEA is low, and same with maybe testosterone, we would use DHEA, and then we would recommend estrogen support and progesterone support. Okay, so that's where we start. Let's see, next one. About the detox. Can you take herbal tinctures? Well, if you need them, yes. If you need the adrenal and liver support, yes. Remember, you're getting lots of liver support with the functional medicine detox because essentially it's a liver detox, right? It ramps up phase 1 and phase 2. So now it's just, do you need the adrenal? And if you need it, you need it. You can take it. But remember, the reason we like to do very little on the detox is that everything you take in terms of a nutritional supplement or food has to be really processed essentially by the liver. And so the less you take that week, the better. That's all. But no, I have no issues with you taking a little liver support if you need it. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. That was it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there you go. I don't know. It seemed like it flew by, but I guess it's been 14 minutes. So hopefully this was helpful. I very much enjoy answering your questions, I guess, as you can see, right? But we'll save them for next weekend. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow. There's a brand new Cabral concept. Each and every day, we start our weeks, of course, with that Mindset and Motivation Monday. One of the best ways I feel to start the week, because who doesn't need a little bit more inspiration and motivation to take their life to the next level? Take care, everybody. Have an amazing start to your week.